think we're ready to get started. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We have Christina M with us, and she's actually at the birthplace right now in our gathering house. That's where we have a lot of events, and we currently have an art show behind Christina. You'll see it. And you can always come visit us and go for a tour of the birthplace, visit our interpretive center. And George Malice is the artist that we're featuring right now in the Gathering House. He has some beautiful work. It is related to Whitman and the sort of constellations that Whitman mentions a lot in his poetry. So definitely come check that out in the near future. So again, thank you for joining us today for this wonderful event featuring Christina M, who is our Long Island Poet of the Year. She's going above and beyond, I have to say, as our Poet of the Year. She's had a lot of events with us. She did our first virtual event, which was sort of our test run. And since then, we've been having one every single week. So we're so thankful to Christina for all the hard work she's been doing. She's helping us promote the birthplace. She recently wrote an article about the birthplace for Book Riot. If you go on our Facebook, you can check that out. So thank you, Christina, for being here with us and all that you do. I also want to say thank you so much to everyone who donates. If you donate on our website, you'll see there's all these links. It just means so much to us. It means multitudes to us. Even something like $5 really helps us during this critical time. For about 4 months, we were closed, our museum. So right now we're open again, which is wonderful, but we really could use all of the support. And just by being here, though, you're giving us so much support as well. We appreciate it more than you can imagine. So thank you so much for that. All right. And I just want to mention a few upcoming events. Next week on Thursday at 6 p.m., we will have the Long Island Poetry Collective with us. And they are a group that's been around for many years here on Long Island. And there will be 15 poets joining us. So that should be really interesting. You'll learn all about local poets, local to us, maybe not local to you. So that will be a wonderful event. Please join us at 6 o'clock next Thursday. And the following Thursday, we will have Catherine Shea with us, and she'll be joining us from California, and she's also a very accomplished poet. So I'll give you all the links in the chat, and you can check out those events and pre-register for them, just like you did today to come to this event. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna come back. Okay, there we go. So Christina, we have you in our gathering house, and I'm gonna give you the spotlight. I don't think you can see us too well. Oh, and I should mention, if you want to say anything in the chat at any time, that's fine, and then we'll read them towards the end with Christina. All right. All right, all yours. Spotlight is yours, Christina.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. So thank you for letting me come to the birthplace and do everything that I love all at once. Some of you know me as a poet. Some of you know me as a professor. Some of you know me as a yogini and Reiki master. So here I am, doing all the things I love all at once, and I am so grateful to be here, and I'm grateful that people showed up in the middle of a weekday to celebrate and meditate and do yoga with me. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you for this space. We were going to do this outside, and it's very hot, and so in yoga we say we honor the body, and in honoring my body and not wanting to pass out on Zoom, here I am inside the air-conditioned gathering house, and I'm very grateful for air conditioning right now. And the artwork that Whitman mentioned is behind me. So please visit when you can, and they're open several hours during the day, so visit when you can. It's really great to just kind of walk around and be here. So before we get started with like yoga and meditation, I want to give you a few ground rules because we are going to be doing some physical things. So number one, with yoga, if you have to honor your body, and if something doesn't feel good, please don't do it. If you do have your camera on, you can feel free to turn it off. You don't have to show yourself. And if you are watching other people and you're like, oh, look, that person's standing on their head, let me try. And that might not be for you, so you don't have to do that. I will be standing in my head today. I don't do inversions anyway, so do what your body tells you to do. If something doesn't feel good, don't do it. If you just want to sit there and listen, you can just sit and listen. That's fine. I will be using the chair, so if you don't feel like standing up and doing any standing poses, you don't have to. I'll be doing the chair, and then I will be showing you things on the mat. And we're not doing anything too strenuous. I just want to kind of get us in touch with just a little bit of moving, but also get us in touch with our minds. So the meditation portion. There are some misconceptions about what meditation is. Some people think it's just your mind goes blank and then you sit like that for hours. And that could be what it is for some people. And I haven't been able to do that in my many, many years of meditating. So maybe one day. Meditation is more of being aware that you are thinking about things, being aware of how deep you're breathing, and letting things go. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I have that thought, and I'm going to let go of that thought because I'm not doing that right now. So we're going to go through a few things that help us kind of get into meditation. And today I am also incorporating some poetry, because poetry is a lot like meditating. Poetry is, sometimes they say yoga is the poetry of movement. So we can get into that a little bit to just kind of bring everything together. So I am going to start with a poem, and we're going to put the links, the titles of the poems in the chat a little bit later, so that you can look them up a little bit later if you want to do that on your own. So the first poem I'm reading is called Unfolded Out of the Folds. It is a Whitman poem. All three things I'm reading today are Whitman poems. So this is called Unfolded Out of the Folds. And you can just close your eyes and listen. Unfolded out of the folds of the woman, man comes unfolded and is always to come unfolded. Unfolded out of the super best woman of the earth is to come the super best man of the earth. Unfolded out of the friendliest woman is to come the friendliest man. Unfolded out of the perfect body of a woman can a man be formed of perfect body. Unfolded only out of inimitable poem of the woman can come the poems of the man, only thence have my poems come. Unfolded out of the strong and arrogant woman I love, only thence can appear the strong and arrogant man I love. Unfolded by brawny embraces from the well-muscled woman I love, only thence come the brawny embraces of the man. Unfolded out of the folds of the woman's brain come all of the folds of the man's brain, duly obedient. Unfolded out of the justice of the woman, all justice is unfolded. Unfolded out of the sympathy of the woman is all sympathy. A man is a great thing upon the earth and through eternity. But every jot of the greatness of man is unfolded out of woman. First, the man is shaped in the woman. He can then be shaped in himself. So either with eyes closed or with eyes open, coming to a comfortable place, whether that is on your mat, on a towel, on the floor. You can sit with your legs crossed, one leg out, both legs out, legs to the side. Or you can sit on your chair or on the couch. Make sure that you can feel your feet on the floor. Okay, so if you need to put some pillows behind you so your feet are flat on the floor, that's fine. So if you're sitting in a chair, you can hold the sides of your chair, or you can keep your hands in your lap. If you're sitting on the floor or on a mat or a towel, you can put your hands on your knees or on your thighs, palms up or palms down, that's up to you. You can either close your eyes, or you can just let your eyes gaze right past the tip of your nose, and eventually your eyes might close, and maybe they won't. You can see that there are always a lot of options. And just close your eyes here if you can. And just notice what your breathing is like. It might be shallow or it might be deep. You may be breathing through your nose or breathing through your mouth, or both. We do try to breathe through our nose in yoga because breathing through your nose allows the air to warm up as it comes in, and it also filters the air. But if you need to breathe through your mouth, we'd rather have you breathe than not breathe at all. And then taking a moment to see what your body feels like as your seat is rooted down into the mat or on the chair or on a couch or a cushion. Seeing all of the points of your body that are supported by the floor or the chair. Feeling your feet on the floor. Feeling your booty either on the couch or the chair or the floor. So we have a little support there at the bottom. And then up from the tippy top of the head, you can feel your head just kind of floating up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. You don't need to do anything here. You can just feel your body, feel what it's like sitting here in this moment. I should say that at some points I might get a little hippy dippy, and that's okay. If you don't like the hippy dippy, you can just kind of let it go. If you really groove on the hippy dippy, then just get right into it. So as you're breathing in, imagine yourself sitting a little bit taller. And as you're breathing out, imagine your shoulders melting down away from your ears. Feel the breath moving throughout the body, or imagine it moving throughout the body. And see if you can soften your eyebrows, your eyelids, and your jaw. Maybe you're holding tension in your tongue, or in your throat, or in the back of your neck. When you breathe in, imagine the air moving to all of those places where you might be holding tension. And on the breath out, feel those places softening. And whenever you breathe in, feel your chest expanding. Maybe your belly comes out. And when you're breathing out, the shoulders come down, the chest comes in, and the belly button pulls towards the spine. When you're breathing in, the whole body fills with air. And when you're breathing out, you soften through your arms, down through the fingertips. When you're breathing in, you feel the energy all the way up your spine. And when you're breathing out, you're feeling your spine, your back, your belly soften. When you're breathing in, you're feeling yourself light and airy. And when you're breathing out, you're feeling softening through your legs, down through the bottoms of your feet and your toes. And then seeing again if you need to adjust, if you need to move, if anything doesn't feel right, if you need to grab some water. Again, coming back to the idea of honoring your body and doing what's right for you. So if you've chosen a place to sit and it's not comfortable anymore, feel free to move and shift. Because that means you're a little bit more aware of what you're feeling, and that's exactly where you should be right now. Now let's see if we can lengthen the breath, either with eyes open or with eyes closed. Hands in the lap or hands palm to palm over the heart. Whenever you breathe in, maybe count to 3. Breathing in, 2, and 3. Breathing out, 2, and 3. It's going to be different for everybody, so 3 was just the random number I chose. Breathing in, 2, and 3. And breathing out, 2, and 3. And getting used to how your body feels when you're breathing in and breathing out. Where do you detect the breath the most? Maybe it's in the rise and fall of your chest. Maybe it's in your belly. Maybe it's feeling the air moving in and out through your nose or your mouth. Breathing in a little bit longer. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4. Never holding the breath, always letting the breath move, and noticing that slight pause between the inhale and the exhale and the inhale again. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. If you want to lengthen it, you can, counting to 5 or 6. Or you can stick to 4 or 3. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm going to let you breathe a few times on your own. So we'll sit in some silence, or you can count out loud as long as you're muted yourself. And you can stick with the counting, either to yourself or out loud. Or you can bring yourself back to your normal breath, taking notice to see, have you slowed down in any ways? Did the counting distract you from all the other things going on around you? So sometimes we're sitting and we're meditating and we hear something. Somebody else is in the house making some noise. Maybe there's a plane flying overhead. Those of you with cats and dogs might have furry little friends roaming around your feet or over your lap. And sometimes we have a tendency to say, hey, I'm meditating. Stop annoying me. Harsh and mellow. But really, what we could do is just embrace that. Thank goodness for this furry little friend. It's so nice that I can hear things happening around me. And so we take it all in instead of getting annoyed in meditation. It becomes part of the meditation. And when we get distracted, we can always go back to that counting breath, feeling the breath move in and feeling the breath move out. If your eyes have been closed, just flutter them open for a moment. And something else that we can do to detect the breath moving in and out. You can put one hand on your chest and then one hand on your belly. And when we're taking these deep breaths, we try to move from the belly all the way up. So we're filling the body with air, and then slowly, like we let the air out from top to bottom. And then so you can feel your belly move and you can feel your chest. If you have a problem doing that, feel free to lie down either now or later. And you can put like a pillow or a tissue box on your belly and start to see it rise and fall. And that's a good practice to have to try to breathe from down here in your belly. Okay. So I'm going to try to breathe from my belly first. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And then I breathe from my chest. And then I let everything come down. And it's going to be different for everybody. So do it at your own pace. And if you can't quite get it, that's okay. Just breathe. So breathing in, belly, 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 belly. Chest, 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 chest. And breathing out, chest, 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 chest. Belly, 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 until everything comes out. So sometimes we call that the Superman chest. So we can't breathe in anymore. So we sit in the air, starting from the belly, and then into the chest. All the way up, sit the air, sit the air, sit the air. And then slowly letting everything out. All the way down to the bottom. Let's do that one more time together, if you so choose. From the bottom of the belly, to the mid belly, and all the way up through the chest, sip in the air, sip in the air, and then everything comes out. Check in with yourself. I'm gonna actually shift my legs to the other position. Okay, and again, if you're sitting on a chair and you gotta move a little bit, shake things out. Okay. Sometimes when I start yoga or when I'm just doing meditation, I tend to rock back and forth a little bit at the beginning. That helps us find our center. So the center here, the spine, and then the chakra center. There's that hippy dippy, right? So we kind of go back and forth. And some people just like to sit here and they don't even get still. They just keep swaying back and forth, or maybe forward and back. There's something very soothing about this, and this is why we rock babies in a crib. And then you can find your center and come into that stillness. And also, by the way, since you're breathing through your nose a lot, you might want to have tissues nearby. There's no rule against blowing your nose if you need to, so go ahead and do that, please. Yeah. Okay, so we're sitting in the center. At this point, close your eyes, come back to the breath, and check in with yourself. You're being distracted by your thoughts, not something from the outside, but from the inside. You're not meditating wrong. Being aware of your thoughts is the meditation. And so sometimes what I like to do is I notice that I'm thinking about something that I need to do later. There's a phone call I'm expecting. I have to go food shopping. Okay, that's my to-do list. I'm going to put that in a bubble and let that bubble float away. And I'm going to come back to my meditation here and now. And now I'm thinking of that episode from that 1980s show that I really enjoyed. That was a fun time. I'm going to put it in a bubble. And I'm going to let the bubble float away. And I'm coming back to my meditation here and now. And now I'm thinking about what I ate for breakfast and how great it was. And I'm very grateful that I had food to eat. And I'm very grateful that it was delicious. And I'm going to put that thought in a bubble. And I'm going to let it float away. And I'm going to come back to my meditation here and now. And now I'm feeling that I'm clenching my eyes shut and I'm clenching my jaw. So I'm going to soften my eyes and soften my jaw and let all that tension float away and come back to here and now. Slow breath in and slow breath out. And giving yourselves a few more moments of silence, breathing in and breathing out. Every time you have a thought, put it in a bubble and let it float away. Breathing in and breathing out. Coming back to here and now. Breathing in and breathing out. Letting yourself rest in this meditation. And you can continue this meditation and not bring in any movement of yoga. Or you can bring in the movement of yoga in a moment. In the transition, I'm going to read a poem by Walt Whitman called Continuities, from a talk I had lately with a German spiritualist. Nothing is ever really lost or can be lost. No birth, identity, form, no object of the world, nor life, nor force, nor any visible thing. Appearance must not foil, nor shifted sphere confuse thy brain. Ample are time and space, ample the fields of nature. The body, sluggish, aged, cold, the embers left from earlier fires. The light in the eye grown dim shall duly flame again. The sun now low in the west rises for mornings and for noons continual. To frozen clods ever the spring's invisible law returns, with grass and flowers and summer fruits and corn. Slow, full body breath in and slow, full body breath out. I'm going to hop up onto the chair first. Okay, and we're going to work on some movement here. And again, you don't have to bring in the movement. Actually, a little this way. So my feet are flat on the floor, and I'm sitting up nice and tall. And we're going to start with some sun breaths. So if you're on the floor, just take a moment. Okay, so this is actually a half sun breath. Okay. And what we're going to do, if you have shoulder injuries, then you don't have to go all the way up. On the inhale, take your arms up overhead and keep them separate. And on the exhale, turn your palms down and press them down. And make sure that you keep your shoulders back. So sometimes we hunch over like this. This is not a place to be. This is like not good for breathing. So we try to sit as tall as we can. And then we inhale and we take the arms up and we keep them separate. And on the exhale, we push the hands down. And we're always moving with the breath. Slow breath, slow movement. So the breath from the meditation that we've done. Inhale as if we're moving through water, pushing through the water. And exhale, palms down, shoulders back, feet flat. And we inhale all the way from the bottom of the belly, all the way up to the chest. And then we exhale all the way back down. Each breath is a brand new breath as you push all of the air out. So you can continue to do that as you're on your chair, on the floor, or on your cushion. We do the same thing, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, taking the hands up, rising, keeping the palms separate. And on the exhale, pressing out and down, all the way down. And we can land on the floor or we can land on the thighs. Inhaling, taking the hands up overhead, tipping the head back if that's available, looking up to the sky. And then exhale, reaching through the fingertips, coming down, keeping the shoulders back all the way down, and tucking the chin slightly down towards the chest. Not all the way down, just slightly. From here, see if you can roll your shoulders up and around to the front, and then roll your shoulders up and around to the back. Turn your palms up wherever you are, inhaling, taking the hands all the way up overhead, and this time, if you wish, you can bring the palms together. If that's not available, you can try to go forwards a little bit. If you're on the chair, same thing. And then on the exhale, taking the hands out to the sides, reaching all the way out through the fingertips, all the way down. Slowly roll your shoulders to the front, breathing in and out. We're never holding our breath. And then slowly rolling to the back, breathing in and out. Good. Take the hands all the way up overhead. Palms touch or separate. This time, take your hands down through the center, in the front, palm to palm, hands over the heart. Chin slightly tucked if that's available, rolling the shoulders back. Close your eyes here or gaze just past your fingertips and past your nose. Take a moment to see where you are. Are you breathing heavily now? If you are, you want to take it down a notch and not bring your hands up overhead so high. If your heart's rapidly beating, just come back to that slower breath. But your heart might have gotten a little bit quicker, and that's okay. We did bring some movement in. Always check in with yourself. And then take this moment. You can set your intention for your practice today, something that you wish to get out of today. Or you can think of something or someone or someplace that makes you smile. And dig on that for a moment. And then slowly let that thought go, coming back to the here and now. On the next breath in, take your hands up overhead as far as you can. And then separate the hands, let the hands come out to the sides and down. Bring your hands back onto your lap, whether you're sitting on the chair or on the floor. Take the chin slowly down towards the chest, keeping the shoulders back and the belly in. You're going to slowly roll one ear over to one shoulder. Hold here for a moment. If you want an extra added bonus, slowly take the opposite hand and bring it down next to you on your chair or on your couch or on the mat. If that's too much, just bring the hand back up into your lap. Inhale here, exhale, let your chin come slowly down towards the front, not all the way down, just towards the front. Inhale, taking the other ear over towards the other side. And again, checking in with yourself, making sure your shoulders are back. If you did it on the other side, try to take that opposite hand down. Though the body is not symmetrical, so you might be able to do some things on one side a little bit easier than on the other side. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Inhale here and exhale, taking the chin down towards the chest and picking the head up again. Inhale, taking the hands all the way up overhead, rising all the way up. Palms touch if you can. Exhale, take the hands out to the sides and then all the way down next to you. Roll the shoulders to the front and roll the shoulders to the back. This time you're going to take only one hand up. Doesn't matter which one. You can do mirror image with me or not. Nobody's looking, doesn't matter. Okay. Inhale here and then just exhale, and you can slide your hand over if you're on the mat or if you're on a couch. If you're on a chair, you want to be careful that you're not going to fall over off of the chair. But if you're on the chair, just lean over to the side slightly and hold on to the side. Inhale here. And then exhale straight up and let the arm come down. So the other side, inhale straight up. And if you're not sure if your shoulder's down, you can always take your shoulder up and then bring your shoulder down. And you let your fingertips reach up all the way. So that's an inhale, and on the exhale, again, coming over to the other side. It's very slight on the chair because we don't want you falling off. So stay here, and you can feel that stretch all the way through. If you see your hands coming in front of your face, this is not a stretch. This is blocking your beautiful face. So bring it back, and then don't go as far. If you're on the chair, if you're not on the chair, excuse me, if you're on the floor, you can slide over a little bit further. And again, you don't want to be doing this. You want to be open. Proud chest out to the front. Inhale up and slowly let that hand come down. You're going to do the same thing on both sides again. If you need to switch your legs and you're on the floor, go for it. Inhale, hand comes up. Exhale, leaning over. You might be able to go a little bit further. If not, that's okay too. Okay, if you feel your booty coming up, you want both sit bones down onto the mat. Inhale. And exhale, reaching through those fingertips. Inhale all the way to the top and exhale to the bottom. Opposite side, hand comes up, inhale. Exhale, sliding all the way over with the bottom hand or holding onto the side of the chair. Reaching as far as you can go, both sit bones are down, so if your booty's popping up, come back. Inhale and exhale. sitting up nice and tall and letting everything come down. One more time, both hands all the way up, reach into the top, and then interlace your fingers and see if you can press your palms all the way up. If you can't do that here, maybe you could do it here. Okay, if not at all, keep them separate. Just reach up, wiggle your fingers, be proud. What do they call them, spirit fingers? Sure, why not? Inhale. Exhale, see if you can push your hands forwards, and this time round your back. So we've been sitting up nice and tall. You can round your back here and let your chin come down, and that's a nice stretch for your back. Inhale and exhale here. On your next breath in, push forwards and all the way up. And then slowly let your hands come down to the sides, and then palm to palm over your heart again. Checking in with your breath, checking in with your heartbeat. If anything's a little bit too fast for you, slow it down. And listen to your body. Your body's telling you no, don't fight against it. Okay, and from here you can bring your hands down. This time I'm going to come to stand, and we're going to return to the sun breath and do a fuller breath. If you don't want to stand, you don't have to. You can remain on the floor doing the inhale and the exhale. You can also remain on your chair doing the inhale and the exhale. I'm going to do a sun breath, a fuller sun breath on the chair first. Okay, so you can see what your options are. Okay, so again, we established when we breathe in, we come all the way up. On the exhale, if you're on the chair, what you can do is you can hinge yourself forwards and take your hands onto your thighs to come forwards a little bit. Inhaling up, sitting up nice and tall. My feet are on the floor. Exhaling, hands come out, hinging forwards, hands on the thighs. So I have a nice long neck here. Inhaling up, rising up, and you can do this on the floor as well. And exhaling, coming forwards, hands on the thighs, coming forwards. You can also come down towards the floor if you're on the chair. Inhaling, rising up. This is why you need your feet flat on the floor. Exhale, coming forwards. If you feel like you're going to fall off the chair forwards, please don't go all the way forwards. Find your balance. Inhale, up, rising up. And then exhale, hands out to the sides, and then all the way, either halfway down or all the way down. So that's the sun breath on the chair. We're doing the sun breath by standing. We start what we call Tadasana, or mountain pose. It's one of the few Sanskrit words I can say. Okay, Tadasana. So the big toes are together, and you can do this on the chair too, the alignment of the feet. The big toes are together. Your heels are slightly separate. We tuck the tailbone down, and what that does is usually we stand like this, booty out, right? So tuck the booty in, tailbone is down. That activates your thighs. Okay, so we're standing up nice and tall. Okay, we pull the belly button towards the spine. Okay, so we're one straight line with shoulders over hips, over feet. Okay, we roll the shoulders back and down. We let those shoulder blades melt down. Okay, we reach the fingertips towards the floor, and then we reach the top of the head towards the ceiling. So there's an imaginary string just pulling you up to the ceiling. Sometimes when I say we reach the top of the head towards the ceiling, people do this. And now the top of my head is back, and that's not my top of the head. So the top of the head is towards the ceiling, and my nose is always pointing forward. Okay. And then we want to see where the weight is in our feet. Sometimes the weight is all the way in our heels. So what you can do is come up on your tippy toes and then come back down a few times and see if you can get the weight between the balls of your feet and your heels. Okay. So who knew standing was so much work? I know, so much work. So again, if you're on your chair, you can do the alignment of the feet and then the alignment of the shoulders over the hips. We're going to come into the sun breaths here, now that we have the alignment down. So inhaling up, rising up, reaching up. And then on the exhale, we're going to come into a half sun breath. So let me turn to the side. Hands on the thighs and coming halfway down. Inhaling up, rising up, reaching up, tailbone tucked down. And exhale, hands out to the sides and halfway down. So kind of like when we were on the chair, only now we're standing. Inhaling up, rising up, slight change here, so you have some options. Exhaling, hands out to the sides. Now we're just reaching for the floor. Inhaling, press the feet down as you rise up towards the sky. And exhaling, hands come down either on the thighs or reaching towards the floor. I got one more change for you. Inhale, coming all the way up, rising up, reaching through the fingertips all the way to the ceiling or the sky. And then exhale, coming all the way down. If you can, wrap your hands around your legs and drop your head. Yes. If you have any blood pressure issues or you tend to get dizzy, do not drop your head below your knees. Inhaling up, rising up. Honoring the body, not getting dizzy, reaching up, and then reaching all the way up. Exhale. If you wish, you can come into the full sun breath at the bottom if that is available to you. If it's not, then you do your own thing. Inhale up, one more time, pressing the feet down, all the way up, rising up. Inhale, 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 and then exhale. All the air comes out, coming down. Slow movement, slow breath. And then from here, coming all the way up, hands all the way up overhead, palm to palm. Slowly letting the hands come down over the heart and holding here. Okay. So if you're on the chair, hands over your heart or hands in your lap. If you're standing, hands over your heart or hands down by your sides. Palms to the front or palms towards you. Again, check in with yourself, see where the weight is. I'm just checking on the time. Okay. We have time for a little bit more movement. Okay. Okay. So those were sun breaths, and we're going to do some more side to side now. So we're going to take the first hand all the way up, rising up. Do the same thing on the chair as last time. If you're standing now, take this hand right next to you and let it slide down the side as you reach over. Any neck issues, you can look down. Any balance issues, you can look down and even separate your feet. From here, if you're on the chair or standing, either way, you can turn your torso and reach across. If you're on the chair, same thing. You're over to the side, turn your torso and reach across. You can bring this hand down on the chair or on your couch. So that reaching across gets into the lower back in a different way. And then we turn to the front, reaching all the way back up and coming out to the side and down. Roll the shoulders to the front, roll the shoulders to the back, coming back into mountain pose. Even on the chair, the feet are flat. And then the shoulders stacked over the hips. Inhale up, other side. Remember, take that shoulder down, reaching through the fingertips. And coming out to the side. And the bottom arm is flat against that leg, holding you up. And if you need to separate your feet, go ahead and do that. Stay here or look down and reach across. So you get that other stretch in here. We're breathing in slowly and breathing out. If you do feel a little bit wobbly, then come out of the pose. And then open to the front and come all the way up and take that hand down. Good. Now this time it's available, both hands up, same thing on the chair. Interlace the fingers and see if you can come over to the side with both arms this time. And the trick here is to not shift all of your weight into one foot, but keep the feet together and evenly balanced, okay? Also, we don't want to come forwards. We don't want to come back. We're not like a flag waving in the wind. Try to stay in one plane. And then come up in the center. Over to the other side, okay? And I'm going a really long way here, right? I've been doing this for like 20 years. So if you're here, that's fantastic. You want to be where you are as long as you can feel the stretch. So the difference between a flexible person and a non-flexible person is that the flexible person needs to go further to feel the stretch. That's the only difference. Inhale, come up, bring the hands down, and this time bring the hands behind you. So you can interlace your fingers and press down, or you can put your hands on your lower back. Try to pull your elbows together. When you're doing that though, remember we don't want the booty out, we want it tucked under. Okay, so we're pulling the arms together, we're pulling the shoulder blades together, we're pulling the elbows together, or we have the hands behind us here. If you're on a chair, like, what am I doing? Okay, same thing, you can reach your hands behind you on the chair. Let me come this way. Okay, you can even reach the hands behind you on the back of the chair or on the couch, behind you on the seat. Okay, so rolling the shoulders back, the chest comes out nice and proud, and you get a nice stretch in the arms. Okay. Inhale And on the exhale, if you're standing, slight bend in the knees. See if you can come forwards a little bit. If that's unavailable to you, stand straight up again. If you're on the chair, same thing. Inhale, and then exhale forwards a little bit. Always leading with the chest, chin is out. And then inhale, come back up. And you could do that a few times. You could do it once. You could never do it. That's fine. Inhale and exhale forwards a little bit. And inhale back up. Exhale, let everything down. Shake it out, shake it out. Separating the feet. Okay, this time inhale all the way up. And this time we're going to dive out into a half bend. So if you're on a chair, just separate your knees and come forwards with your hands on your thighs. Here we're in the half bend with our hands on our thighs. Inhale here, here's the big finale. See if you can reach down towards the floor. If you can't reach the floor, put your hands on your thighs or your shins. I don't want dangling around, right? So thighs, shins, or floor. Those are your options. Somewhere halfway in the air is not an option. Slight bend to the knees. On the chair. Feet are out, not sitting like a lady, I don't care. Inhale here and exhale, coming forwards or down to the floor. Either way. Relax the back of your neck. If you tend to get dizzy, look up a little bit or come up only halfway. Okay, so we're going to do that one more time. Here we go. Okay, separating the feet. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, coming forwards. Hands on thighs, hands on shins, hands on floor, drop the head. Slight bend in the knees. And then bending the knees, rolling it up, rolling the shoulders back and down. Good, bring the hands together and the feet together. Coming back into mountain pose for one breath. Checking in with yourself. And then slowly coming down to sit again. If you're already on the chair or on the floor, perfect, you're already there. If you're coming down to sit, I know she didn't use her hands. Yeah, that's a trick. So if you're coming down to sit and you cross your legs, I want you to cross them in the way you usually don't sit. It's going to feel really weird, but it's really good for your balance. Okay, so this is kind of a modified Savasana. Usually in Savasana, we're lying on our backs. We didn't go through a whole yoga series, so usually we have to do that and we exhaust the body and then we lie down and then we get to like go into like this state of absolute gooiness. So this is a semi-state of gooiness that we're gonna come into, leading back into that meditative state that we did before. So we create some energy, some heat by moving a little bit here, if you chose to move. And so maybe your heart rate's up a little bit, maybe you're breathing a little bit heavier, maybe you're feeling a little bit looser, hopefully a little bit, right? Maybe you've just forgotten everything that you're supposed to do today and you're all zen down, and that'd be great. If not, that's fine too. So everything that we just did in the practice, we did with setting that intention or thinking about that thing that makes us smile. So coming down now, I'd like you to kind of flutter your eyes closed or the best you can. Letting your hands rest in your lap or even hang off of your knees. And you can let your top of your head float towards the ceiling or tuck forwards. Breathe in slowly, full body breath, filling the entire body with air so that the body is floating. And then slowly letting all of the air out so that the body is safe and secure on the mat, on the floor, on the ground. Even through the chair, your body's connected through the ground. Slow breath in and slow breath out. Feeling all of that energy and positivity you created with your practice today move throughout your body. Slowly taking your hands palm to palm in front of your heart if that's available to you and feeling the heat between your hands. Let your mind think back to the intention that you set for your practice today, or to the thing or the person or the place that makes you smile. And hold that in your mind for a moment. And then slowly put that in a bubble and let it float away. Keeping your hands palm to palm over your heart, or bring them back down into your lap. Coming back to the breath and feeling it move in and out. So coming back to the place where we started. And let yourself rest in this place. And you can either tune me out or you can listen to some excerpts from another Whitman poem, When Lilacs Last and the Dooryard Blooms. When lilacs last and the dooryard bloomed, and the great star early drooped in the western sky in the night, I mourned, and yet shall mourn with ever-returning spring. Ever-returning spring, Trinity shore to me you bring, lilac blooming perennial and drooping star in the west, and thought of him I love. Sing on, you gray-brown bird. Sing from the swamps, the recesses, pour your chant from the bushes, limitless out of the dusk, out of the cedars and pines. Sing on, dearest brother, warble your reedy song, loud human song, with voice of uttermost woe. O liquid and free and tender, O wild and loose to my soul, O wondrous singer, you only I hear, yet the star holds me, but will soon depart. Yet the lilac with mastering odor holds me. Yet each to keep and all retrievements out of the night, the song, the wondrous chants of the gray-brown bird, and the tallying chants, the echo aroused my soul. With the lustrous and drooping star, with a countenance full of woe, with the holders holding my hands, nearing the call of the bird, comrades mine and I in the mist, and their memory ever to keep for the dead I loved so well, for the sweetest, wisest soul of all my days and lands, and this for his dear sake. Lilac and star and bird twined with the chant of my soul, there in the fragrant pines and the cedars dusk and dim. Take your hands palm to palm over your heart if you wish. Cup your hands in front of your heart and feel the energy and warmth and goodness come from your heart into your hands as if you're collecting water. On your next breath in, take those cupped hands all the way up overhead. And on the exhale, open the hands, palms up, letting all of that goodness and light rain down over you. All of that stuff that you created with your practice today coming down over you. And then palm to palm again over your heart. Take in the peace of this moment, knowing that this is the peace that you've created with your meditation and your yoga practice. This is the peace you carry with you wherever you go and whatever you're doing. May you take this peace with you for the rest of your day, your week, your month, your year, your life. And with you, I share my gratitude with you today. Thank you so much for joining me in yoga and meditation and poetry and namaste. So thank you all for joining me today.
There we go. Christina, that was so powerful. Through Zoom, even it just came through so beautifully, the energy. Oh my gosh, I think we all feel super refreshed right now. I just want to ask everyone to unmute for a moment so we can give her a big round of applause. All right.
Thank you all for joining me. It was so much fun. I miss teaching, so this is great.
Yes, absolutely. I think that was the longest pause for applause because everyone's so relaxed and like in a different place from doing that with you. Absolutely incredible, Christina. Thank you so much. Wow. I was following along just a little bit and I feel different transformation just from that. Incredible. And I was just thinking the artwork in the background, that's George Malice and it's called Cosmic Consciousness. And that's like exactly what you just gave us now is that meditative state.
Oh my God. Artwork here is just, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. So if anybody can come see it in person, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And then if anyone wants to come on camera and ask some questions or comments, and then you can also write it in the chat section and I can read it to Christina.
Yeah, and I'm gonna come a little bit closer just so I can see everybody a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah, that way I'm not on the floor. Hi, everyone.
All right. We have lots of positive. I think everyone's a little tired, a little bit, you know, in this great state.
Sometimes we call that yoga brain, like, especially like if you do like an hour to an hour and a half of yoga and then like you've been like in Savasana, like even coming out of it, you're like, I don't even know what to think anymore. So it's, yeah, that's perfectly fine. If, yeah, everybody's taking a little bit of time to like come back to reality. That's perfect, actually. It's exactly where everybody might need to be right now.
Absolutely.
I just want to say thank you, and I'm so glad I came to the class. And I wanted to put in a plug. I just donated a small amount, and it's super easy. It took 2 seconds because it's hooked up with PayPal, so I didn't even have to put in my credit card. So I know that the nonprofits need a lot of support now, and you're doing an awesome job. I never go to Zoom classes because I'm usually giving them. And I give like 8 classes a week. So I just was like, all right, I'll give this a try. So I'm really glad I came, and the poetry was great. The yoga, the shoulder exercises were good. And you look beautiful. So you're a good power of example. I want to look exactly like you at the end of my yoga.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you joined. Yeah, take all that with you. I know about the Zoom stuff. It could be overwhelming. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Joyce. We appreciate the donation so much too, really. Thank you.
Are there any plans to do this again?
That's up to Christina. We would love it, but you know, we could talk about that.
In my other life, I teach English at Nassau Community College. Semester starts on the 1st, and we'll see how that goes. And once I'm in the groove, I might come back and do some yoga. I do teach yoga on the side. I think we put the link to my website in there. So if anybody does have any follow-up questions about yoga, I teach yoga privately, like right now outdoors. I do small group classes outdoors, as well as I do outdoors in people's homes and also through Zoom. So yeah, if anybody has any questions about following up with yoga and meditation, I also am a Reiki practitioner level 1, which means that we do have to be in the same room for me to offer you Reiki. If you're interested in that, again, just contact me and we'll work it out. Yeah.
Caitlin?
Yes. Hi.
Caitlin?
Hi, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
I've been in a couple of groups that continue like for a month or so, or twice a month or whatever. If you could consider maybe doing that, where we would commit to like four of these classes, maybe we could get Christina to come back if we all made that commitment and donated something, and then she, you know, could have some income, and you could have some income, and however you want to work it out.
Yeah, I love that idea. Absolutely.
It's such a nice way to blend the poetry of Whitman. I heard things, you know, quotes today that I hadn't ever heard before or read before, so that was nice.
Yes, I did a dive in some Whitman, so I was trying to find maybe people weren't too familiar with.
The one thing is, I did have a little problem hearing you because there was a little bit of an echo, but that could be the room you're in. Did anyone else have that problem?
There's also a very weird setup with my phone right now. I was on a tripod that wasn't working, so now my phone is in a box with lace around it. It's a very weird setup. So that could be it as well.
but we can work on that. Sure, we can work on that.
Yeah, because it kind of took away a little bit from the quality of hearing the poetry. I couldn't quite make out everything you were saying, so I just kind of let it go and went with the flow. But I would like to hear the
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm. Thank you.
Definitely. And I
Thank
love
you.
that idea, Barbara. So thank you for the, maybe during winter break, Christina, we can work something out.
Yeah. Mhm.
We'll see. We'll see.
Thank you, though. Yeah.
Thank
And then,
you.
yeah, the technical issues, maybe next time in the birthplace, if we can make it happen, not too hot at that time. Like right now, it's, yeah, it would be a lot to be outside. So I'm glad that we were able
Yeah.
to.
Well, actually, there's some cover now. There's, I think the storm is now coming. So, you know.
Right. Unpredictable weather out there.
Christina,
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Hello.
thank you for bringing some peace to my day.
Oh, thank you for joining me. It's so good to see your face.
I will see you soon. Thank you.
I hope so. Mwah.
Anyone else? Any questions, comments? Again, we're all in this wonderful headspace now. It's a lot.
Yes, I hope everybody continues to just do the meditation every day, or as much as possible. You don't have to like sit on a mat to meditate. You can meditate anywhere at any time. It's just taking the moments to yourself and breathing in and breathing out and centering yourself and coming back. And I think that's going to help everybody through a lot of stuff that we're still going through right now. So the meditation, but yoga is like 1% movement and the rest of it is all in your mind. So the meditation is really key for everybody.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Christina. And I want to just do one more round of applause because
Sure.
it's incredible.
Clapping for everybody.
Right. Thank you, everyone. I hope you join us again soon. And yeah, we'll try to set something up, Christina, when you have time. We won't make it chaotic, but we will do it at a good time.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. Oh,
Hi, everyone. My name is Alvaro. I'm from Bolivia. Say hello for here. And I just want to take Kathleen and Christine. I like to meditate and I love Whitman's poetry. I can feel everyone energy and bless you for everyone.
wow. Thank you for joining us from far away from Long Island. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for finding us and joining us. Wow.
Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos. Mhm.
Gracias, muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Yes, sí.
Wonderful. You see that these connections would never happen
No.
without Zoom. So it is,
These are the silver linings, definitely.
Amazing.
yes, definitely. All right. Well, I hope everyone has a wonderful almost weekend. And thank you for joining us. And we hope to see you all again very soon, next week on Thursday.